Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me, and if you're new here, my name is Jen, and today's stamping theme is going to be Strange Oddities. For the base color, I have applied Candy Moyo 938. So the plate that I'm going to be using, I thought this is going to be the perfect time for me to use it since it's Halloween, and it is this plate from Maniology M331. So I want to start first with this image, and I kind of want to make it into like a slime color. So I'm gonna try Maniology's Food Fight B287, and this is gonna go on, I believe, all the nails except for one. Okay, I'm actually just gonna turn the plate, make it less messy. And I'm not gonna color this in, I'm just gonna let it be however it comes out. So I also debated on using sour apple. It would have been more opaque and a bit darker, but I kind of wanted to do like a kind of a neon-y color, so I chose to stick with this one. Now it's okay that I can only see it a bit because I don't want it to necessarily overtake the images that I'm going to be placing over it. Okay, I've done that on the other nails. I wanted it on as well. Now I've left this one blank, of course, but I may end up changing my mind. I don't know. I'm going to kind of see as we go. Also, I did just kind of want a neutral background because I want the other colors to come through more than it. Okay, so I flipped the plate back, and I'm going to use some of these images here. So I'm going to get the finger, the eyes, the brain, and the hand. So you pretty much pair these with these jars. Now, you could use these jars for so many things, which I do plan to do at some point, but these are to layer with them. So I'm going to pick these up first, and I'm going to use Maniology's Red Sea B199 with it. Now I lost my sticker, so I had to just put it on there myself so that I would not forget what it is called. So I'm going to do those first. And I'm going to start from the bottom, work my way up. Get off extras. Okay, there's the finger. Actually, I could probably get the eyes and brain on one stamp. That sounds weird to say that, but yeah. Let me get these extras and I'll be back. I actually could have got the finger on there at the same time, but I think what I'm going to do actually is, let me see if I'm going to be able to, I'm going to try to go back to that same stamper and fit this other one on here. I don't know, I may not have room, but we'll see. This hand reminds me of, didn't put enough polish. That's my bad. It reminds me of, what is it called? Is it called on Addams Family? What's that hand called? Is it thing or hand? Oh, okay, so yeah, I'm not going to be able to fit it. Hold on. Psych, I got it. I just cleaned it off the plate and tried again. Okay, so now I want to get the fingers and eyes here because I'm like, that's not like the only time I'm going to probably use this plate is Halloween time, so I was like, let's just do it. It still matches what's in the things, so we can make it work. Ew, creepy. Also, I just have to say, this green slime, who was a Nickelodeon kid? Remember all those, the fun shows that they had on there? And I can't remember all their names or anything, but like the kids would go through different obstacles and they would end up getting slimed on if they, I can't remember if it was if they made it or didn't make it. Anyway, and then there was like that tomb one where they were running through the, it's like a, it looked like a cave situation and like these stones would come down, like, oh my gosh, such fun shows. Okay, y'all know I had to look it up so I can show you. So it was Double Dare was the slime one, and Temple of Doom. Okay, so let's reverse stamp. For the finger, let's go to Candy Mayo 937. I hope you're all doing well and feeling well and your families are all well. Did you do anything fun for the weekend? I'm really going to try hard to get myself caught up this week. I've had some things I needed to tend to, so this week, hopefully, I can get caught back up. Okay, so I was trying to think of a color, you know, like I want to keep things somewhat matched well, and so I was thinking like we got the brain, so let's do the brain and the hand, I think the same color. So I'm going to pull in Color Vibe and Perfection. I don't use this color very often, but I think it'll be a decent color for this. I think I actually kind of forgot I even had that one, to be honest. And it's also got these bubbles around it. I feel like, well, I say this all the time though, every month, it just feels like it goes so fast. Have you gotten to do all the Halloween minis you're wanting to do? I mean, I know we still have a little time left, but so far. Okay, real quick, since I still have some of this color, I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the brain. It's also got some of those bubbles in there as well. Okay, so I'm going to get just a little bit more and finish this and be back. Okay, for any bubbles, I'm going to go to Paparazzi Brought Away. Figured that'll be work well with that green slime color, but without being the exact same color. So I'm going to do this on every single bubble throughout and be back. Okay, for the eyeballs, I'm going to do Paparazzi and Simply Lovely because I don't want like a bright white. So I am making some Mexican chicken casserole tonight for dinner. And I have heard it also, like, it's very similar to something called King Ranch chicken. So over the years, I basically just combined the two. And so I'll use, like, first of all, boiled chicken, and cut it up. When it's done, I'll put whatever seasonings I want. I'll leave a bit of the broth in there with it. And then I add a can of cream of chicken soup, cream of mushroom soup, some Rotel, and then I'll cut up or tear up some corn tortillas to put in there. I think that one comes from the King Ranch chicken recipe. I'm going to set this one over here. I'm going to go ahead and grab this one and use this same color for these eyeballs as well. And then you can add Doritos in it, and the Doritos come from the Mexican chicken casserole recipe. So I will add a little bit at that time. And I'm trying to think if that was it. So then, yeah, so then I'll put it in like a pan, put it in the oven, and then do some cheese on top. You could do whatever if you wanted. If you did want like melted cheese, that's fine. But I typically do shredded cheese and just put that on top, let that cook and melt, and then add some crushed up Doritos, and it's got to be the nacho cheese. Well, it don't have to be nacho cheese Doritos. It could be the spicy ones if you wanted, but it is really good with the regular, and then put it back in the oven just to finish it off, and that's it. It's super yummy. It's not healthy, I know, but I feel like when you're trying, just to, it is good, and it also gets, everybody full. The tortillas are filling, so I know. I'm like, listen, I'm always like, what am I gonna fix? Because that's, you're always having to think of something, but so if you have anything you want to share of a recipe, please let me know below. I need some ideas. But I know everybody's having to watch shopping budgets. Okay. Alright, I am using that same color on these fingers that I did for the other one. And then I gotta decide if I do want to add that slime to that other nail or just leave it. Okay, but this one is done. Okay, I decided I am gonna add that slime to that other last nail in a minute. But in the meantime, I'm going to see. I finished this one first, I think. So let's go to Candy Mayo 932 to color in, kind of like as it's in a solution, but it's kind of still see-through at the same time. Okay, so this one is done. So when I put it over that black, you can see that it's got kind of a, I don't know what you want to call it, kind of a, it's almost like it's in, like I said, like in a solution, kind of like, it looks kind of gel-like. So I'm going to do this one, and I'll be back and show you. Alright, there's that one. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get this image placed, and I've decided I'm going with the matte this time, so I'm using this one. It was from Dollar Tree, so it is quickly going to be ready, so I'm going to go ahead and place it now. Okay, now if you were to wear these nails, you can clean off with a brush and acetone. You can pull them off the way I'm doing. You can, if you're not going to wear them, you could tuck them. You can also just trim them off with some small scissors. So I'm going to finish doing that, and I'll be right back. Okay, got it cleaned up. I have now decided I'm also going to grab this image because I think I'm going to be able to fit that on there. So what I need to do is, because it's one whole image, instead of like being able to put it together, I'm going to go ahead and pick this one up. I'm going to pick up with Maniology's Storm Cloud B185, and then I can just reverse stamp it the colors that I want for the inside. It's like a creature's eye. Alright, on this nail I'm going to attempt to put the finger on there. I'm just going to have to do it very carefully so I don't get the other image on there as well. Okay, and I'm going to tell you real quick, so as you can tell, there's different sizes. So the long one is meant for this one, or that one. And if you're unsure on like these, you can get your images and just kind of place it over it to kind of decide which one you want to use or which one will fit. Okay, so I've decided on this one I'm going to put the hand on there by itself. So I'm having to be careful because it started to peel, so I'm going to go the opposite direction of what it was peeling up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this one going real quick so that it can have time to dry. So I'm going to take that greener tone for the eye. Now I'm going to take some of that Red Sea color and just sort of add some randomly throughout. Okay, and then it has a top and a tag. I'm going to use this color I used earlier for that. Okay, now I'm going to put these two on the same one. So I'm going to put the brain at the top. And I'm also trying to keep in mind the bottle shape. And hopefully I'm leaving enough room. I could do it opposite and put the bottles first, but in case it needs to overlap, I didn't want to mess up by doing that. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get this one's bottle on. So going back to Storm Cloud for that. Okay, could not grab my card. I'm shaking. I was trying to take my time to get it on there without messing it up. Okay, the hand is going to get this jar, and I have to decide if I'm going to color in the tops of these jars or not, depending on how turn out. Okay, try and get the extra off, and then I gotta line up. Real quick, I am gonna come back to this one to add that clear tone. And I am making it a bit thick. Okay, get a little tiny more. Just making sure if I got it all. Okay. Oh, I went over right there. So, oh no, that's the tag. My bad. So that brain is gonna get this jar. Okay, gotta hurry to get this extra off or it's gonna get on there. Oh, and I took that piece off. Darn it. So I gotta redo it. Okay. And then I'm going to jump to this one, but I got to clean off that little section right there. And it's going to go to the bottom one. I'm trying to decide if I want to make it look like those eyes are floating or just sitting in there. Okay, so I feel like this top one is like a clear bottle. So I'm going to take some of that iridescent tone again, and I'm just going to kind of add a little bit because the top didn't get any of that. And then just place it wherever I want to. So like that, because now I can tell it's showing up there. So I'm going to place it around here because it didn't quite show up the way I wanted. So I think what I'm going to do is go through and add the clear on the rest of them. And then the other ones, like this top, I feel like should be a colored top. So I'm going to come back to the tops after I do the clear portion. Okay, and I was trying to concentrate on placing it around the images instead of on the images. So I think for the tops that are like this, I'm going to go back to this one because it will match the creature eye one. Now I still want those lines to come through, so I need to be very careful about doing this. I could have reverse stamped it, but I'm just doing it backwards. So it's not going to show up much, but a little bit. So this is just going on the tops of these ones. Try to get a little bit of this off right here because this one's a bit thick on this portion. Okay, and I'll do it to this last one and be back. Okay, and I try to put a little bit on that, around that tag portion. Alright, last one to place. And I actually had gotten that plate just for those jars, the empty jars, because I thought of things I could do with that throughout the year. And then I was like, oh, that would be perfect for Halloween stuff too. So always look through your plates. You never know what you have through them that you could use for all kinds of different things. Okay. The little tag isn't wanting to stay on. If it doesn't stay on, I'm gonna have to add some more clear coat to get it to stay. Oh, it stayed. Okay, so I just was working it different directions and it wasn't staying until I went that way. So keep that in mind when you're trying to place something if it don't want to stick down. And the reason I'm moving them is trying to help you to be able to see the iridescent within them. But you can't see it a lot on camera. Alright, I think that's going to do it. Strange Oddities. So because that background is matte and the jars have the shine to them, there's like a kind of a difference in contrast. So you can just see it when I turn it to the light. So what do we have? The creature eye, the brain and the eyeballs, the hand, fingers and eyeballs, and then that one's a finger as well, which of course matches that. But now the reason I did choose to do red C for the pickup was because I wanted the lines of the eyes to be in red, and then I was thinking like about the fingernail portion to the little creature fingers. I thought that would also be a good enough color to work well with that one. And then it also kind of just adds a bit of a different feel to it because you get the red lines throughout. And you don't have to add the slime look, but I do like it just kind of for more of a experimental look feel to it. But I hope you did enjoy watching. I do greatly appreciate it. Thank you so very much. I will list the Maniology products I used in the description box. And until the next one, have a blessed day, friends. Bye.